Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Here We Are Year Zero. I'm going to be your DM, GM, storyteller, whichever you would like to call me, Forgotten Dreams, and I am joined by a cast of lovely people, starting off with Moo.
Why? Why would he start with me? I had hands in pockets on mute. Oh yeah, we're live. Hey people, vote for your parties and believe in your dreams, but not too much because your parents are still there to crush them. I'm still talking. What is happening? I'm single. I like girls. Please mute me. Help me. Help me.
Moving on from Moo. We have Ellen, who has a
Hello.
new microphone.
I do. I got a new headset. I'm Ellen.
Woo!
It's fancy.
Yeah. Next up, we have Eric.
Hello.
And then we have Unicorn.
Hey.
And last but not least, we have Cabby.
Aaron, I need music. It's too
there,
quiet.
There is music.
There is music.
What the fuck?
There
Yeah.
is music.
So maybe you need to
Is that-
consult with your computer.
Is that via Roll20?
Yeah, it's via Roll20.
Yeah, just do me a solid if you're doing audio effects. Like
Yeah, I don't
characters
use
should hear
rhythm.
I'm just saying I won't be able to hear any effects if my character's ever supposed to hear anything. Just don't be
Yeah, I
afraid to
got
put
you.
Captions
I got
in
you.
your mouth. Sorry guys, I'm traveling a lot for work, but I'm here. Saying that to the audience. I don't care about you people.
All right, so moving on. For the recap this week, seeing as he was already so talkative about his cooking and also beer cheese, we're gonna have Cabby. What happened last time?
Beer cheese. Beer cheese, that's what happened.
Not in the game.
Fine, but there will be beer cheese at some point in this game because god damn it. Anyway, so we had landed at JFK. I learned where JFK is.
Yes. You also learned where Staten Island is.
I did. Weird for someone who lives there. Part of our group went off and started scouring the airport, while some of us stayed back, trying to con our way onto the military aircraft carrier. Successfully, I might add. However, we have split the party as I am dead set on going onto the aircraft carrier. The rest of the group has gone the other way, save for Dexter, who's still making up his mind. And we're evacuating to a cruise ship and the carrier.
Indeed. There were some other important details that did happen last session that I'm going to quickly mention. The ladies, not including Rachel, decided that they would go on a bit of a shopping spree through the airport terminals and picked up some useful things. The most exciting being a couple of short swords and also a sword fashioned in the looks and usability of an Uruk-hai blade from Lord of the Rings. Obviously, someone was a big fan and got their blades confiscated by security. Damn TSA. Other than that, we also had Rachel steal the keys to a truck
that is now with Cabby.
that is now with, yes, the keys are now with Cabby. And she definitely bragged about it after having, not too long after having a conversation about doing things without talking to the group.
I didn't. Wait. Hold on.
Other than
hold
that,
on.
this is the recap.
Hold-
There's no
Hold on.
there's no hold
No,
on.
I
Rachel did
think he
not
needs to
brag.
continue.
No, Rachel did not brag. In fact, she kind of low-keyed it.
You're right,
Okay.
you just chastised and then did exactly what you said not to do.
Well, it was a way for you to do what you wanted to do, which was walk out of there. So, no harm, no foul. You can just drop the keys somewhere on a table, and boom, you're
Well, it's
good.
kind of too late for that.
I technically
Yeah,
blame Sylvia because she was the one that brought up the whole "should we really be following these guys" conversation, and then Unicorn was just kind of, or Rachel was just kind of
Sylvia.
playing off of that.
Who's Sylvia?
the NPC.
Nurse Silvers? Is it Nurse Silvers?
Yeah.
Is that her name?
Nurse
Silvers.
Megan
There's
Silvers.
Megan.
Also,
Megan Silvers.
Eric, are you in a wind tunnel?
Sort of, yes.
Okay, just keep in mind that when you're talking, your fan is like making the wind effect in the background.
I don't need any more.
Gotcha. So, yes. Let's see here. Anything else
And
extremely special
I
that
might
happened?
have bragged. I might have bragged about Rachel's skills with that, but Rachel most definitely was low-key about it. Just clarifying.
All right. Moving on from that, though, we pick right back up with our characters. As, for one, the helicopter that the ladies took, as well as the NPCs, lands on the helicopter deck of the Carnival Glory, and off in the distance, in another part of the fleet, oh god, my brain immediately blanked on the name of the helicopter. The Osprey, that's what it was, lands on the deck of the carrier, carrying the guys. And we're going to pick up with the guys getting off of the Osprey as the engines whirl down and you step off onto the carrier deck, sort of already parked up on the side of the deck. You can see that there is the large tower of the carrier to your left, and in bold letters you can see that this is the Mississippi. It's one of the few carriers that are not named after a president.
All right.
A number of purple and green shirted crew members of the carrier deck go running by, immediately beginning to defuel and also unload cargo from the Osprey. What would you guys like to do as the doctor makes his way off the ramp next to all of you and immediately begins making his way towards the conning tower already?
Wait, so has Dexter made his choice as to what ship he's going on?
Dexter said that he was going to go with Cabby, I believe, last episode.
I hadn't
Last
actually...
episode, we were still standing there, hadn't quite made up
He
the
was
mind
having
yet.
that debate. In that case, we will rewind.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I went with Cabby.
Okay.
And Dexter made a very specific decision to go to Cabby because he thought, fourth wall and all. I'm one of the only two potential people that might be on the carrier that's the main character in the story. So if Cabby dies, I might need to carry this information to the girls later. So
Wait a minute, you're saying you made
You're
that
right.
choice out of character for your in character person?
The way I remember it happening though was that Dexter just agreed out of the get-go. So like, I don't think character-wise it'd be an issue because I'm just a useless girl child, and you're also a girl. And he's a misogynist, so it all just works. Dexter, not the role player. I'm clarifying here, the character.
I don't know enough about Dexter to know if he's misogynistic or not.
So yeah, hopping off of the Osprey, I would find the lieutenant that we were following. Be like,
Well, as you go to try and find the lieutenant, what you are barraged by is a number of crewmen in purple and green vests, a number of individuals in fire-resistant suits who are making their way around, checking things on the Osprey, Marines going about to the lower decks of the carrier, moving past you. It is very busy up here, and you can see that 3 jets are being prepared to go onto the launching system of the carrier, and it is an almost deafening roar of noise that is here on the carrier. So you're going to have to make me a spot listen to try and find the lieutenant. Okay. Through this sea of individuals, You notice on the third osprey that has landed, there is the lieutenant as well as a few others that are making their way out of the back of that osprey, and you can see he's not heading towards the tower like everyone else, and he's not heading towards the hatch that leads down to the immediate lower deck. He instead goes around the osprey and looks like he's about to go down a set of stairs that are off the side of the carrier. You don't know where it leads to.
I am going to
Excuse me.
kind of nudge Dexter, point that direction with my head, and start pushing through the crowd over towards him.
Okay. Dexter will throw his stuff over his shoulder and follow.
All right, fantastic. The two of you throw your things over your shoulder. The most hilarious thing of all is this bright red and yellow massive medical backpack that Cabby throws on as he gets all of his equipment together. And the two of you begin making your way to that set of stairs, losing track of the doctor as the doctor is essentially going in the opposite direction. You continue over, and eventually, after a 2-minute walk, you get to that set of stairs, and you can see that it leads down and onto... I'm actually not sure what the small platforms on the sides of the carrier are called, so you'll have to excuse me on that knowledge. But it leads down to one of those small platforms. On top of that platform, you can see one of the Sea-Wiz phalanxes is set up and scanning around. And next to the Sea-Wiz, besides the crew, is a doorway that is just being shut. A hatch, I should say.
Also, I'm super happy that Cabby has the medical backpack, which he's going on a medical ship. Probably doesn't need the back, but I'm glad he's got it.
Whoops. It's like the car keys all over again.
So what is your plan? You see that there's the crew of the Sea-Wiz. It looks like they're doing some calibrations with it that are kind of just standing next to this door or this hatch that you see closing, and the latch of the hatch sort of swinging to the left, and you hear a clicking noise, just barely audible over the sound of the roaring thunder of two F-16s taking off.
Just from the sound alone, I'm gonna go over to the door, swing it open, or attempt to open it, and go inside and shut it behind me. Well, behind me and Dexter.
Okay, so you go ahead and you swing the latch the other way, opening the door. The crew doesn't, or the maintenance crew doesn't seem to bother you in any way. As you make your way through, you are brought to a very well-lit, very stereotypical ship's hallway. There are a few stairways that you can see on either your left and right side that lead lower into the carrier itself. There are several hatches here that you can see leading to various different rooms, some of them open, some of them closed, but no lieutenant directly in sight.
All right. Could I listen to see if I can hear his voice from one of the directions?
Absolutely. Go ahead and make me another spot listen. And Dexter, you're free to do this as well. Don't worry, I'm not going to punish you guys on failures. Is Dexter making a roll or no?
Yes.
Okay, I'm waiting. Okay, fantastic. So, Cabby, as you try and listen out for the lieutenant's voice, there is, there's a chirp that comes from the intercom that kind of distracts you, and it calls for...
tinnitus flare up.
It's not a tinnitus flare up. The chirp that comes from the intercom calls the name of 3 different officers who you don't recognize and asks them to report to the flight readiness room. As that report is going on, Dexter, you catch a glimpse of the lieutenant for but a moment. As he peeks his head out of one of the hatches and begins to close a hatch about 3 doors down from you. And you can see that on either side of the hatch there's a tag over the door that reads flight preparedness room. Or flight readiness room, my bad.
Is he looking this way by chance?
He looks that way very briefly.
Okay, I'm going to hold up a hand and kind of wave at him a little bit, and I'll tug on Cabby's shirt and start walking over.
I'm going to follow Dexter.
Okay, he steps out of the room and he goes ahead and finishes closing the hatch behind him. And he's now standing there in the hall next to the flight readiness room door. Yeah, how can I help you?
Okay, Dexter will kind of step out of the way and let Cabby do his thing.
Well, we're kind of wondering what the procedure is here and how we can help.
If you don't know where you're supposed to be, you're going to need to get your bunk assigned. So go over to the flight tower. When you get there, talk to the quartermaster or find an officer in there and try and get yourself a bunk.
All right.
Other than that, stick with your CDC doc.
Can do. And I'm just going to look around, little meta knowledge here, just looking around at all of the different signs and symbols all over the place. I'm like, how do we navigate this place?
Go down here, keep going down the hall. About 15 doors down, you're going to see a map on the left side. And it should lead you to where you want to go.
Right.
Is that it?
I'm going to take a couple steps back and just kind of confirm the direction by pointing that way.
Mm-hmm. That way.
And be like, hey, by the way, who do we talk to about that, Mr. Blue Skies fella?
I am unaware of exactly who you're going to be talking to. I assume it'll be held within the CDC debriefing, which is set to take place in 40 minutes.
Shit!
Also, where's the armory? Where they store the guns?
He kind of gives you a blank stare. We have several. Find the one that's on your side of your berthing.
Great, thank you.
And just as he says that, you hear the clang of boots on metal stairs as three individuals poke their heads up as they come up to this level and begin making their way to the door that the officer is standing in front of. And he says, "Oh, you guys go in." And you watch as a fourth one begins coming out of a door. The door reads officer cabin, and he kind of points to him and motions for him to come over. Hey, Michaels, can you get these two berthing with the CDC? So take them wherever the fuck they're supposed to go. Enjoy your stay. And he kind of opens the door. The four of them step inside, and they close the hatch behind. Do you want to take a look inside or try and see what you can?
I would say at this point, I would like to make my way the direction we're supposed to be going, but I would also like to get, kind of queue up, Dexter to take a look while I distract what's-his-face with my bullshitting skills.
I'll take a look, and I'm going to, when I glance inside, I'm going to spend some competency points for success.
Okay, fantastic. How many do you want to spend?
Go ahead and go with 3.
All right, fantastic. So what you can see, Dexter, is as you look in, it looks like they have they're currently have a map of Staten Island and Brooklyn. And from what you're able to just briefly get out of the words that are written down, it looks like they're probably about to take out the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. Probably going to strike it soon.
Okay. All right, excellent. Good to know. Anything else in the room?
You can spot maybe about 4 different pilots in the room currently, kind of milling about. They all have notepads in front of them. Some of them are talking to each other. And there is up on the podium in the briefing room, there's a toy dinosaur replica of the Toy and Andy's room from Toy Story.
Oh, very cool.
So,
All right.
Michael's was it?
You can see it's this scrawny 20-year-old kid. He's got a staff sergeant patch on him, and he also has a Marine Raider patch on his left arm. Yep. CDC, you said? You main staff?
Yeah.
Support staff?
Well, we're kind of some tag-alongs, honestly.
Support staff. Okay, follow me. And he starts leading you through the various different hallways. As he does that, we kind of cut from you guys and make our way over to the Carnival Glory, just as the helicopter is touching down, and Rachel, Silvers, and everyone else begins to pour out of the helicopter and onto the deck of the Carnival Cruise. Yep.
Did you say Rachel Silvers, or did
No.
you mean Rachel,
I was saying
comma,
Rachel's,
Silvers?
comma, Silvers.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I was like,
Yes, I've combined the 2 nurses into one evil superpower.
I'm gonna say I kept telling them don't put those earrings on, and they just pulled in together, and it's a bright flash and started glowing.
Do
No,
they have
Jim!
some frickin' laser beams on their frickin' heads?
No, I'm Jem and the holograms.
Jesus.
I believe that was his reference with the earrings and changing any. Anyway, yeah. So we touch down. I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna make sure everybody's got their stuff. Make sure everybody else is doing well, and then I'm gonna look for whoever's in charge or whoever's gonna be meeting us at this drop point.
Well, you are immediately met by a number of staff who are in sort of navy blue suits with white undershirts, and they've got the Carnival Glory name tags, and you can see as one of them kind of gives you a light bow and says, "Welcome to the Carnival Glory. If you'll follow me, we'll go ahead and get you guys set up with rooms."
They're not military?
No.
Oh. Who's in charge? Like, are you guys in communication with the aircraft carrier, or?
Well, the captain would be in charge, and I'm sure he is, ma'am.
Okay. So you guys are just treating this like a cruise? Like this isn't a holiday.
This may not be a holiday, ma'am, but you are our guest here on the Carnival Glory, and we are going to get you to your destination nice and safely.
Okay.
Now, if you'll just follow me.
Okay.
And I will bring you guys over. I believe... Actually, no, I'll save that. I'll save that for a little bit. Okay. So currently you guys are on deck 12. And that's where the landing pad is. And she kind of takes you to a set of elevators and pushes the button to have them open, and she motions for all of you to step on board. Hey, please come this way.
I mean, yeah, there's no reason for me not to, so I would, and I'd nod to everybody else.
Okay, as all of you step on board the elevator, she eventually makes her way in herself, closing the elevator doors behind her, and she presses on deck 9. And you begin making your way down there. So I'm going to bring you guys over map-wise. Is this the right deck?
Look at that.
Yeah, deck 9.
I have a map, guys. I have a map.
This is true. You do have a map.
I have a map, or we have a map.
I'm just double checking one thing. Yeah. It. So
know what that
I
means?
took this directly from the ship's like online deck layout, and it's funny because the rooms that are listed as the 9s are actually on deck 10, and then deck 9 is are the 8 numbers, which is weird. But hey, this is what they say they have for deck 9. Here we go.
Okay. All right. So deck 9 that has rooms with the 8. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So you guys step out of the elevators, and if you don't know where that is, I'll go ahead and ping that. There you go. That should have dragged you over on the map. You step out of the elevators, and she leads you along, and she takes you... Let's see here. I got to look at the chart real quick. Or is it PDF? I should have brought this up earlier, because I forgot I need to look at the numbering system and the star system. Materials, Carnival Glory deck plan, and then we are looking for deck 9, which is, there we go. All right. So, as she's taking you out of the elevators and making sure everyone has their things, she says, all right, are there any couples, any groups, anything like that? Or is everyone here singles? And you watch as Michael and V both raise their hand. We're together. And she says, okay, I will go ahead and get you guys a room. Due to how many people we have coming on board, there are plenty of rooms available. So you don't have to share if you don't want to. She says that to the rest of you. All right. So.
I want to raise my hand.
Yes.
I'm going to start. So I tend to have a bit of claustrophobia, and I know these cruise ships have smaller rooms, anxiety, and I don't want to be a burden, but like, is there like a less claustrophobic setup available?
Something that's less claustrophobic for you, and this is as the DM goes over. Okay, is that?
There's level 9 storage room C.
Look at the real estate.
What we can do for you is, how about we get you a room with a window? Would that work for you?
Sure. Is it closer to the top or the bottom, or?
All on the same deck.
Sure, I guess. Okay.
Okay, in that case, follow me. And she begins leading you guys along, and you immediately take a left as you leave the elevators, and then take another left. And she's going to take you guys to... So she's going to put... Uh-oh. Where's my other sheet? There it is. Okay, she's going to put Kira in room 8422. That's the one with the star. She puts Michael and V in 8426. She's going to put Rachel in 8428. And she's going to put Via in 8434. So for...
Wait, is this
Kira.
the back of the ship?
Yeah, this will be. So if you go from where I pointed out on the elevators, and then you make your way back into the left.
Yeah, no, I I see where the rooms are, but is this the back of the ship is what I'm asking.
Correct.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I don't know ships.
Where you see bridge printed on here, that's the front of the ship.
Okay, cool.
I have it north to south as is appropriate.
Because the front of the ship is north.
What if it turns? Is it still a rabbit?
All right, let me see here. All right, so
I don't have a
8422.
window. I don't have-
So, Kira, as you make your way into your room, you have a king-size bed and a single sofa bed, as well as a port window. Sorry, no. Yeah, as well as a port window. And also, you've got like a little desk for putting down your things. You've got a bathroom. You've got a TV set up in there, and the TV is already running, and it's currently set to Comedy Central.
Good station.
Um,
I spoke to that room. Would I have seen that? Can you hear the one thing, or
would you have seen what?
like if anybody
You keep cutting out.
does it push mine? Oh. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
There we go.
Oh, okay. So basically, it's
He's
approaching my
just
room.
dancing in the background.
A little. Yeah. So wasn't capable of hearing to other people's rooms. My room.
No, you can't. There's a peephole that allows you to see into the hallway itself, but you can't see in other people's rooms.
So no one had their doors open. Okay.
Yeah, all the doors are closed.
If I was just trying to gauge if this room was like irregularly sized, or if it was just kind of like it's a type of king size bed.
It's let me see. On this one, I gave you the room with the star. Yeah. So it's a little bigger than you've seen. If you've ever been on a cruise, it's a little bit on the bigger side for rooms. It has a king size bed in there. It's got a sofa in there. It's got a TV. It's got a writing desk. It's got a personal bathroom. And there's enough walking space for like 2 people to walk side by side in the room. Other than that, so via, I put you in 8426, right? Or did I put you in a different one?
8434.
8434. Okay, so that's same designation. So you also get a room with a king-size bed, a single sofa bed, so a sofa, and also an upper Pullman, which I've never been on a cruise. I don't know what an upper Pullman is. So
It's one of those beds that has chains that are attached to the ceiling that you can lift up or down.
okay, fantastic. Well, you get one of those rooms. You also, of course, have a bathroom, TV, writing desk or things to put down desk. And you also have a port window. Across from Via, with Rachel, what you end up getting is a king-size bed and a Pullman. You unfortunately don't get a sofa, but you do get a slightly larger flat-screen TV, and there is no window. But you also have, so you have a slightly larger flat-screen TV, and you have a slightly larger bathroom.
Is there a desk or anything like that for
Underneath the TV.
writing? Okay, and okay, all right, that's fine. She's going to, when she gets into her room, she's going to kind of arrange things on the desk so that she has easy access to them. Not really unpacking it, just more like opening her bag and getting things that she thinks that she might need up
Okay.
top.
Fantastic.
And then
So
she's
you-
going to check on the rest of everybody else, make sure everyone else is comfortable.
All right, you go ahead and get yourself squared away. And as you all are getting your things squared away, sort of an announcement comes on the intercom, and you can hear sort of a gruffer, older gentleman come over the intercom who says, "This is the captain speaking. We'd like to welcome all of you aboard the Carnival Glory, with our stop being San Francisco. via the Panama Canal. We are going to be escorted by the United States military, and we hope that you enjoy your stay. Just for your future reference, the bar will be open, and the United States government will be covering the costs, so you may drink to your heart's content. However, we are going to be putting a 5-drink limit on a person per day. We're looking at our trip taking about 4 days at maximum speed, so be careful when you're walking, because we are going to be at our higher speed limits. Other than that, we do have a show from Willie the Magician that's going to be taking place on Tuesday and Thursday at 8:30 p.m. And also, we are joined by Jazzy Juice, a jazz band out of New Orleans who's given up their gracious time to play every night at the casino.
Willie the Magician?
Mm-hmm. And then the intercom cuts off.
Willie the Magician. Okay.
You like Frank Sinatra?
I mean, I would have gone. I would have gone to see Frank Sinatra, or not. Frank
Funnily
Sinatra,
enough,
but-
Willie the Magician is a real magician that rolls with Carnival Cruises. So,
Really,
Oh, you must be
Aaron,
good.
the realism here, Aaron, that you have with this game is hilarious.
all right. So, are there any conversations or anything that you guys want to get done after you finish stowing your things away?
So, shot in the dark here, but probably close to zero chance that this will happen. But Dexter wants to make a visit to the Armory, so he'll check that little map once we get settled and everything, and he'll head down there with the AK that he's got, and he's going to mention that he is a staff member who's invited aboard the ship, and I brought my personal firearm with me from home, and I was just wondering if you all prefer that I be assigned, something of American make to have aboard the ship rather than a Kalashnikov.
Okay, in that case, just so you know, you guys end up being berthed on deck 6 with some Force Recon guys.
Okay. Oh, cool.
You're not too far from the Armory. It's specifically the Armory that they use for when the Marines are on station. So you only have to go a couple of hallways away until you reach that Armory, and in which case it is actually the Marines' Armory when you get there. But after you explain your situation to the quartermaster there, he kind of looks over the AK and says, "Is it a 7.62 or NATO or 5.56 NATO, or is it not NATO at all?"
It is a 7.62 NATO. It was what I had available to purchase, but I figured since we're aboard a U.S. naval ship that it might be more appropriate if I was carrying an M4A1 or something like that. But if you all...
No, it's fine. We have 7.6 NATO in stock. We got it for all our M14s and stuff, and also some of the LMGs. So,
great.
Yeah, it's federal surplus though. If you're okay with that, I know some people can get kind of iffy with what they run through their guns.
Yeah, no problem. I'm not choosy at this point.
All right, fantastic.
All right, thank you.
Let me see here. I can go ahead and if you want to, we do have a range. So if you want to take use of that, I'm going to need to register your serial number and then your name, so that way we can keep track of you. And then we can allow you to use the range towards the aft of the ship.
Sounds great. I'll give him my ID.
Fantastic. He takes that and he goes ahead and writes down your information, your serial number, and registers the weapon with their system. And he says, "Okay, give me 1 second here. Just got to print this out for you. You can kind of you hear this low whirling sound, and you begin to smell the fragrant smell of burnt plastic as a nice hot laminate card is handed to you a few seconds later, and it's got like your driver's license photo on there, and your weapon, your serial number, and also that you are CDC support staff. And he hands that over to you, and he says, "All right, you could take this card, and between 4 a.m. and 11:30 at night, you can go to the aft of the ship, go down to deck 11." And they'll bring you to like this open platform. When you get there, that's the range. You can go ahead and give your card over to the range master so he can sign you in. And then you're allowed a 300 round limit a day.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I'm official.
Yes, you are, good sir.
I get one of those cool US Navy lanyards you got there.
Oh yeah, sure. And he goes ahead and hands one over. He says, "Do you have cleaning kit or anything like that? Do I need to get you anything like that?"
No, I actually had it cleaned at the CDC secure zone before we got aboard.
Okay, fantastic. But do you want a personal kit that you can carry around on your butt stock?
Oh yeah, that would be excellent. Thank you.
Give me a second here. And he goes away and he types away in the computer, and he eventually hands you over a plastic bag that has the necessary tools to field strip it.
Very cool.
That'll get you set with that. All right. And here's a DM to player question. Is this AK? Does it have Picatinny rails for attachments?
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right, and I know you had mentioned some attachments that are on it. So what attachments are on it already?
The ones that there's only going to be one currently. It would be the wooden stock and handrail, but it would have a standard AK sight on it.
Okay,
but that would be about it.
All right, fantastic. So he goes ahead and he looks that over and he says, I see you got some rails on there. So, if you want to, I don't know, register a site or something like that, you can maybe purchase one, for about $250. We can get you a surefire red dot.
That would be great.
Okay. And, if you want to go ahead and do that, how many survival points do you have?
Between me and him, or just him?
If you want to include yours, Cabby, yeah, you can add yours in.
I've got 3.
Okay.
Did we earn any survival points after this last game?
No, you did not. No.
Okay, I believe I've got 3 as well then.
Okay. If you're willing to spend 2, he'll give you a surefire red dot.
What's the range on those?
It's a 1x collimator, so it stays the same range. It just becomes easier to aim. And the mechanical effect of it is going to be, let's see here. Let me open up.
I was looking specifically for the accuracy on the red dot out to distance.
Oh, out to a distance of 300 meters.
Okay, wow, okay. Yeah, absolutely, I'll spend those.
Okay. Let's see here. The mechanical for this is when it comes to, so probably write this down under your equipment. The red dot is going to allow you to -1 depletion point when you fire your weapon.
Okay, got it.
All right. And with that, he says, all right, you're all set. If you don't know how to zero that, just come back whenever it gets fucked, and I'll fix it up for you.
I'll figure it out. Thanks.
Okay. And off you go if you'd like to get anything else done.
I'll head back to the room where they assigned us, and I'll let Cabby know. I'll show him my laminate, and I'll let him know you can probably get one of these with the quartermaster at the Armory. Might be a good idea in case we want to attend any of the debriefings and whatnot.
Not a terrible idea. At which point I might as well make my way down to the quartermaster as well.
Okay. And you go ahead and you go through a similar process of getting yourself registered. And you just have the shotgun, right?
Yeah, I've just got the shotgun.
Okay. Eric, did you have a cleaning kit for that?
Yeah, he gave me one for the buttstock.
He gave you one for the buttstock of the AK, not the shotgun.
No, I would not have. Well, actually, yeah, I probably would have had a cleaning kit for the shotgun because it would have been more than likely universal.
Okay, fantastic. So you don't have to get that taken care of. All right. In that case, after he gets you registered, you get your laminate card, and he says, "All right, you're all set to go."
Hey, quick question. I don't know if this would be your wheelhouse or not, but where can I find some comms equipment?
Well, seeing as your CDC support staff, you're going to be limited to whatever the CDC has been assigned so far, so you're not looking at getting a PRC-14 or anything like that. So I'd suggest you talk to whoever your supervisor is.
See, all I'm after, I'm just trying to see if I can boost the signal on one of my radios if I can.
Oh, if you need a boost,
Guys know of any
what
any of
system
your...
are you working on?
It's just a little El Cheapo Civi
Oh, okay.
800 system.
That's not going to be compatible with anything we have.
It's got a few hundred feet, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Any of your guys know anything about electronics by any chance?
Oh, yeah, sure. We got plenty of people who know about electronics on the ship. It's just the issue being we've all got our assignments, and also essentially the only way you're going to be able to get any communications equipment, serious communications equipment, you're going to have to talk to whoever you got in the CDC that's supervising you. They're going to have to send a request up the chain. The captain's going to have to approve it. You're then going to get the approval, take it to me. I'm going to bring you over to what we call Radio Shack. That's the communication guys that are down on deck 12. And then we can get you something.
Sounds like you boys need to attach yourselves to whoever got you on that ship and make sure that you stay with them. Like, because that's what I'm hearing a whole bunch of. Like, you got to get this, you got to do that, you got to have this, you got to have that. And you guys are really just civilians.
Yeah, a lot of the personnel seem to be treating us like dead weight. But that's okay.
He gave you a range card. I don't think that's treating you like dead weight.
Right.
Well, there's that.
And
that's
I'd be
extra
like, all right, so I'll be back after a while. Also, where's your med bay around here?
Med bay's on deck 8.
Deck 8.
Mhm.
And that's, I'm just going to kind of point random directions.
Once you go out the door, you're going to take the stairs down. You're going to go down until you see the sign that says deck 8. Once you hit deck 8, you're going to take a left. From there, you're going to go about 12 doors, and you're going to see a hallway past the 12th door. You take that hallway to the right. You go 4 doors. You're going to see another hallway. Take a left there, and then you're going to hit on the 3rd door on that left of the hallway is going to be the med bay.
Can I make an insight check to see if he's bullshitting me?
Sure.
Why?
You can make me a... Do we have detect motive or something? Yeah, detect motive check.
I don't know if I could rattle off that shit, even if I memorized it. Fuck.
They know this ship inside and out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're required to memorize the locations on the ship.
You have
So-
no fucking clue if this guy just bullshitted
I'm just
you.
gonna... Yeah, I'm just gonna look at him just blindly and be like, got it.
Do you want me to write that down for you?
Please and thank you.
All right, give me a second here. And he goes over to some sticky notes, some blue sticky notes, and he writes down the directions on the blue sticky notes and hands you about
On
3
like
of them.
8 of them.
He's got really small handwriting, so he hands you like 3 of them.
All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna pick those up.
Hey. As you're picking them up, he says, just be sure. Now, those directions are from here. So always use this as your starting point. All right?
Got it. So I am going to make my way towards the med bay.
Okay,
And I'm gonna pull my radio out. And I'm gonna cue it up. Be like, hey, Dex.
You immediately get heavy static the moment that you click your radio on. And you get like this blaring.
All right. Note to self: doesn't work through tons of steel. Shouldn't be surprised.
Dex will look up when he calls his name as he's affixing the buttstock cleaning kit to his AK, and we're like, "What?"
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way back up towards our bunk.
Okay, so you make your way back to Dex, and Dex, you watch as Cabby comes in the room. He's got 3 sticky notes in hand, and also has his nice, brand new, still slightly burnt smelling laminate card.
Oh, nice. She went over to the armory.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna try and figure out how to get down to the med bay. Might as well try and be useful while we're here. Keep us from getting our asses kicked off the boat.
You hear the intercom come on, and there's a sharp, the stereotypical naval whistle of that comes over, and you hear CD briefing, 15 minutes, and then the intercom goes off.
All right. I'll do that later. And I'm gonna start making my way up towards the CDC debriefing. I'm gonna walk out the door and poke my head back and be like, "You coming?" Or
Oh yeah, I'll be there in a minute. Before we switch back over to the girls, if I have access to a shower,
Absolutely, yeah. It's
take
commune or group shower, so just so you know.
That's fine. I'll take a quick shower and get dressed again, so I don't stink because I haven't showered in like 3 days, and then I'll head to the debriefing.
So with that plan in mind, the camera kind of follows as Deck goes through a winding set of corridors to eventually make his way to this Deck's shower room, and he opens the door to 12 individuals who immediately whip their heads as they nakedly scrub away at him and say, "In or out, close the damn door," in a unison of voices.
Okay, Queen's wave and get inside, shut the door.
Fantastic. And the camera cuts to black and picks back up with the rest of you over on the Carnival Glory. Yeah.
So Rachel was checking on everybody, making sure that they were settling in on the deck in their rooms, giving them their time, their moment to do whatever it was that they were doing. And she's going to actually go and check on Kira's situation in her room.
Okay, you make your way over to Kira's door, and would Kira have it open? Is it closed? Is it locked?
It's gonna be closed but not locked.
Well, she would knock.
So, Kira, you hear from inside the thumps of someone knocking at your door.
All right, I pick up my shoddy and just open the door and just open it in the way they can see like the shoddy at ankle height just kind of feeling. Who is it?
It's Rachel.
Oh, sorry. Can I put shoddy away to open the door?
Okay, so she's gonna go in. What?
I know, there's my boss in the background. Don't mind it.
Oh, okay. I was so she goes in, she looks around the room and she nods to the window and she says, "Oh, you got a room with a view. That's nice. I don't have a window."
Outside of the port window, you can just see the building dotted horizon of New York City, as well as the Statue of Liberty slowly going by as the ships are now moving.
Is the vest that she has that she found, that's on her, right? Like Kira,
the extra Kevlar,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. It looks, and she nods to it, and she goes, "Looks like you guys found some stuff in the terminal. What else did you guys find?"
Well, that's a good point. This is yours. I hope it matches your eyes. We give her that.
What? What?
Got it. Yeah, take it. That's yours now.
The vest?
Yeah. We have 3. So, yeah.
You found 3?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. Awesome. Thanks.
I even announced I was going to give this one to your character a minute ago.
Okay. So she'll go ahead and put it on. What does that do, Aaron?
The vest, mechanically, what it does is it's going to give you extra damage threshold. So when wearing the vest, your damage threshold is kicked up by, let's see, this is the TSA vest. So it's just regular Kevlar. It kicks your damage threshold by 3.
So where do I put that?
Under your vitality. It'll be underneath bonus. You can write in the extra 3.
Under bonus. So just put 3? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And in the real world, a Kevlar vest will actually stop a bullet. If it's a high-powered round, like a shotgun slug, for example, it could, and most likely will, break ribs when it hits.
Absolutely.
But it will actually prevent the shell from penetrating your body, which is
the important part.
The important part, exactly.
Now, to the reason that it being a regular TSA vest comes into importance is because that damage resistance that it adds on, or the damage threshold that it adds on, does not apply to slashing and piercing damage, because it's not knife rated.
Okay. Well, I had 2. All right. So 3. This is where this does not, because I had 2 initially in the total box, and now I had to add 3 to it, so now I have a total of 5.
Yep,
but it doesn't separate it out to be like, this is only for bullets and this is
right.
only
You can
for
write that in equipment.
Oh, okay. +3. Okay. All right. So she puts it on. How are you doing? Are you okay? Like, what else did you guys find? Is this going to be comfortable for you? What's going on with Kira?
And quickly out of character, Ellen, would I be holding the golf bag with the shotties, or would you have that? I remember you weren't mentioning the guns. I know you took your blade.
The golf bag has the shoddy as well as the short swords.
So can we get around to splitting that up in a helicopter, or do you just roleplay that?
It's up to you guys.
I probably would have been interested in at some point acquiring at least one of the short swords, but I don't think we necessarily would have done that at this point.
Yeah.
But
okay, so if it's cool with you, I'll just assume I have the golf bag thing and whatever. If that's cool with you.
sure.
All right. I'll just explain to Rachel that. So the blades, Thea has dibs on, and there's like 3 extra shotguns. I have my special boy right here. So if you want to take one, go ahead. I'm taking claim to the MP50, and then there's this handgun case that we can break it open. You can get the common one that goes boom boom.
I'm not really good with guns, so did you guys find?
But
I mean, I guess I can take it and try to open it, but I just.
Didn't you guys also get batons?
Batons?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't recall that at all.
Okay.
Ellen, do you remember
Written
batons?
down. We got flares, pocket knives, a megaphone, a bunch of screwdrivers,
different shots.
a weird
tools,
jack.
A weird jack. I don't know if we were able to take down the helicopter or not. It's something bigger. But yeah.
Okay.
Whatever you let us take, we took.
All right. There was something else that I kind of wanted to ask you. I know that you mentioned your sister and that you were trying to get in touch with her and everything, but where are your parents?
Yeah. And then I just started getting like, oof. I just started kind of like shutting down. It's like visually turtling in my face. It's like foster system. Yeah. But
Okay, so
with my hands, I don't want to talk about it.
I understand. I'm sorry. I didn't understand the entirety of your situation. A lot has happened since we ran into each other. What type of, I mean, what do you have, like, what were you doing before all this happened? Like, I'm a nurse and I can help people medically and stuff like that. What kind of skills do you have that can help us in the same way?
As I mentioned to the Mr. Lieutenant bad guy, I'm something of a polyglot. Growing up, I was interested in different cultures. So, and like in lieu of, better schooling, I just learn about other cultures, pick up their languages. Especially the catalyst for that was my siblings. They came from many different families. One came from a Russian family. One came from Ukrainian, and there's the Paraguayan ones. And they started teaching me, and just over time it became a hobby. So I can speak pretty much anything that is used these days. And I'm also a tutor, so I was, couldn't afford a college, and I like teaching my siblings. I just started helping other kids in need and helping them, work on their math and language, stuff like that.
So we're going down to Panama. It sounds like can you speak Spanish?
Sí, no problema.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good to know. What about, like, I personally, I'm pretty good with a baseball bat, but short of that, I'm not really good with guns or anything like that. Are you good with guns or knives or baseball bats or designer purses with bricks in them?
I chuckle at that. I'm not really athletic. I'm not really a fighter physically. I tend to try to dance through situations socially, but if it comes to that, I think I prefer more of a jabbing motion with a blade. But I don't see what much good that's gonna do against these giant claw monsters.
Right.
But yeah, it's shoddy.
Okay, no problem. And how you're okay in this room? Like, I know you had mentioned that you were claustrophobic or and stuff like that. Is this going to be okay with the window and stuff?
Look around. It's like not any other. It's the same. My apologies for fibbing. I was just trying to get access to a bigger room because I don't want to be stuffed with a bunch of strangers, liabilities. And this window is nice because I don't like. I was taught at a young age never enter a room you can't get out of. So
You hear a knocking at the
hope.
door.
I get very intense. I like reach over for Shadi and hit my hand on the desk and just ow in pain.
That's and Rachel will hold a hand up and she'll be like, hold on. Who is it?
Hello, food cart. We're here with snacks.
You want a snack? She asks Kira.
I'm pointing at the door with passion. That's VIP. Get a
Okay. So she'll open the door and she'll be like, "Yeah, we'll take a little bit of everything."
Okay, all right, fantastic. And you can see the two ladies who are carting this massive cart around with food and all sorts of things begin opening up the various different drawers and things like that. And what would you like to drink?
Yes.
Water. Water is
Okay,
preferable,
water.
please.
All right. And one of them hands you 2 bottles of water. The other gets together a couple of trays and hands them over. And it's essentially the one that hands you the tray. There's like a small tin tray that has like 4 different types of sandwiches. They also hand you a tray that has cookies in it. Those small little bite-sized cookies. With a variety of different flavors from chocolate chip to oatmeal raisin. And also the one who handed you the water quickly goes over and gets 3 different flavors of Lay's and already also hands those over to you.
Okay. Do they have like a little, like a paper bag or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's going to take all that and put it in the paper bag. She's going to hand it to Kira and she's going to take the 2 waters and say, nod to thanks and it's
Now that
much
the ship is
appreciated.
underway, would either of you be experiencing any seasickness?
Almost had an episode, but not from seasickness.
Yeah, she wouldn't have seasickness either.
Okay.
I mean, I've never been on a boat. That's for definite, but I don't know if I have seasickness.
She's done the ferries and stuff like that in New York and everything.
Yeah,
it's like a common thing.
I'd say you'd be okay.
I'm all right.
Yeah, you guys are okay. But they ask anyways. Do you need any pills for seasickness or anything like that? We also have a patch.
No. But I do want to know where the medical bay is. For that type of thing, I'm a nurse. There are other nurses that are on the ship as well that we came on, and I'd like to know where that is, and also like just someone who's generally in charge of what's happening, like with everyone, kind of thing, just to touch base and let them know my skills and stuff.
As you're saying that, I kind of want to cut in between your words and be like, yeah, she actually helps me with my condition, and I kind of like reach towards my like lower left kind of hip area or if there's something squishy, like so she actually helps manage my morphine dosage to deal with the pain. We happen to have any on the ship.
I'm not entirely sure if we do or not. When it comes to a medical bay, this is where the DM is like searching all over the ship for where it says medical bay is located.
And also, are there testings happening for the passengers on the ship just to make sure that everyone is in fact not infected?
Yes, there are testings scheduled. That's going to be later tonight, just before dinner, as everyone is making their way to the various different halls and club rooms and things like that. At every single entrance, there's going to be someone there who has a testing kit, and they will test you there, and we're going to give you a small plaque that's going to that you can pin to your shirt or something like that, that will let people know that you've been tested.
Okay.
Let's see here. So funnily enough, none of these rooms throughout this entire ship have medical listed on them. So When you mention the medical room, she kind of looks at you and says, "Well, unfortunately, we don't have a medical room or anything like that. We do have trained nurses that are in the staff, but when it comes to medical emergencies and things like that, we normally contact the Coast Guard and they send people over for medical emergencies."
Okay.
I would imagine if they have a nurse's office, it'd probably be on deck.
They don't.
Since they. Oh, I was just thinking if they did, because people get sick when they're on the cruise and whatnot.
They don't have a nurse's office or anything like that listed.
Oh wow.
Okay. We will.
So,
Yeah.
Here's what we'll say. We'll say that there's a nurse's office, which is going to be on deck 3, and she shows you on the map that's listed on the wall. She tells you it's going to be towards the front of the ship. There's an area marked as guest services. It's over by the elevators. If you make your way over there, there is a nurse's office.
Okay, on deck 3. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, towards the front.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's within the Colors lobby.
I guess I just look over. Okay. And Miss,
You cut out.
Uh-oh.
sorry,
Ruh-roh.
just blurring up, being in tight spaces. Just
Hello?
Are you there?
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
hear
hear
you
you
now.
Okay, so I was basically just trying to give role play into I need my drugs.
Right.
Right.
We can go get that checked out for sure. We'll do that here in just a minute.
If we don't have any of that available, and if it helps at all, you can always feel free to make your way to deck 11, to where we have the beauty salon, we have the spa, we have a massage room, a steam room, things like that. Full on sauna. Feel free to enter at any time. Also a fitness center.
Okay.
All right, and they take their cart and they move on down, and you watch as they move over to Via's room and they knock. Uh-oh, we
Hello?
lost Moo.
Oh no.
There he is.
There he is.
So yeah, there's a knock at your door, Via.
I open the door.
All right, you see two ladies moving a cart along in the hallway, and they say, "Hi, snacks. Would you like any?"
Absolutely. What do you have?
We've got sandwiches. We've got potato chips. We've got drinks, non and alcoholic, whatever your preference may be.
How about a combo deal? Sandwich, chips, and a ginger ale?
Sure. Do you have a particular brand taste?
Canada Dry?
Yeah, we've got some Canada Dry. And they go through the cart and they get you some sandwiches as well as some chips and also some Canada Dry.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions while we're here? Are you feeling seasick? We have pills and a patch if you are.
Yeah, that would be great, actually. The patch.
Okay. The patch. All right. So you don't have to go running around, and seeing as the trip is as long as it is, we'll go ahead and stock you up on patches for the whole trip. She goes ahead and hands you a small box of patches.
Thank you. How often, is there regular snack carts? Is there a meal hall we go to for meal times? What do we...
Okay, so when it comes to meal times, which is going to be breakfast will start at 6:30 and last until 10 a.m. And you have a choice of either going to the dining room annex on deck 3, the Platinum or the Platinum Restaurant on deck 3. You could also go to the Platinum Restaurant. Also extends all the way to deck 4. If you're looking for something like coffee and scones, I'd suggest deck 5, where the Ebony Cabaret Aft Lounge is in the mornings. And then after 10, from 11 to 3 is lunch. And then dinner is served from 8 to 10:30.
Okay. Good to know.
Also, for your knowledge, up on deck 5 is the bar blue, and the what is that called? The Sinaha piano bar.
Jesus Christ.
This is super fancy for like an evacuation mission.
Well, we are a cruise ship first. Next to the
Okay.
Sinaha piano bar, by the way, there's the Alchemy bar, and then next to the Alchemy bar is the White Heat Dance Club. And if you're not into that sort of thing, we also have a video arcade, which is a little bit past that. That's next to Club O2. Oh, and there's an internet cafe in case you need better internet service. That's also on that deck.
So, have you guys been? Oh, you're not with me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're past your room.
I'm sorry.
You
I'm
could
sorry.
totally look out the door and be like, "So have you guys been?" If you're the gambling sort, on that same deck, towards the front of the ship, there's the Camel Club Casino. There's also a Skybox Sports Bar. I'm not sure there's really going to be any bets on during this, but you'll have to check in.
So yeah, she's going to peek around the corner and she's going to be like, have you guys been debriefed on like what to do in case of an emergency happening on this ship? Like what is
Absolutely, we have.
what is the protocol for like
The protocol
if you
is
guys
to go ahead and make it to deck 4 where the lifeboats are in case there is any need to abandon ship or anything like that.
deck 4. Okay.
Eat in the internet cafe?
You can eat in the internet cafe, single trays only, though. Or I should say single plates only. Yeah.
Take
just
like
got
this with me if I want to go
you
there
could take
right
that
now.
with you, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, if you're a smoker, the Camel Club Casino is the one that has smoke accessibility. The other bars don't allow smoking, except for, of course, the Kaleidoscope, which is attached to the Camel Club Casino.
Naturally.
Yeah. Other than that, let's see here. If you are someone who likes to swim, you can make your way up to deck 9, where we actually have the pool, the jacuzzis. There are 2 different bars: the Blue Iguana Tequila Bar, the Red Frog Rum Bar. Actually, no, there's 4 bars up here. Jesus Christ. There's the Blue Iguana Cantina and the Guy's Burger Joint, which also has a bar in it. Up there's also a burrito bar up there. There's a Grand Buffet is up there as well. There's a deli that's attached to the Grand Buffet on the opposite side of the burrito bar. And also below the Grand Buffet is the Red Sail restaurant. There's a pizzeria on that level 2, a little bit past that. It's next to the Azure Lido pool and the 2 spa pools and the Azure bar. And across from the pizzeria, there's going to be a seafood shack.
Wow. What's the deli like? They have a good
Oh my
Reuben?
God.
Is there a Reuben?
They have a pretty good selection in the deli. A lot of boar's head.
Is it like the big sandwiches?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Absolutely.
Ellen.
Oh,
Nice.
and if you're in the mood for steak, the steakhouse is on deck 10.
Okay. Is there like a book in my room that has all this information in it? Because there's no way
yes.
I'm going to remember any of this stuff.
In the halls, every 4 doors, there is a map.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, I'm going to head to the internet cafe. How do I lock this door?
It electronically locks once you take your card out of the door.
Okay. And
by the way, I forgot to mention that all of you would have been handed electronic key cards.
everything's free?
Yes, everything is being paid by the U.S. military during our journey, so everything is free for you to go ahead and use.
All right.
So,
Of course, keeping in mind that there is a 5-drink limit a day.
Of course.
So Rachel is going to peek back into the room with Kira and she's going to say, come here. We need it. I have an idea. And she's going to go over to Liv's room and politely wait until she's finished with her conversation.
Okay. And before they go, the one who's been talking to you this whole time tells you the last restaurant I think we have on board is also going to be on deck 10. There's an old-fashioned barbecue place up there.
Sounds good. Barbecue.
Oh, and of course,
have,
there's the
like, the
carnival work.
burnt ends.
Yes, they do. They do. And we serve it in 3 different distinct styles.
Jesus Christ.
Thea hasn't eaten in a while. Nothing but
Remember,
snacks for
one
like 3
plate
days.
limit in the internet cafe.
Yes, there is a 1 plate limit. So when it comes to any performances, for instance, Willie the Magician, be sure to check out the Amber Palace Main Lounge. That is going to take up decks 3 through decks... Was it deck 4? No, deck 5.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold
Eric.
Hey,
Hold on.
they don't have a shooting range, okay? They don't have a shooting range, Cavi. I'm happy where I'm at. No regrets on my side.
Wait.
I was gonna
Oh
say.
my god.
Stop. So is she done? Does she roll her little trolley away?
Almost. She says, oh, by the way, if you're in the mood for any of the movies currently in theater, and also they do a special where you can get your own private room for any movies on Netflix and Hulu, you can make your way to deck 10 where the Carnival Seaside Theater is.
Sad, we'll hit that up. Thanks for all the information.
Mm-hmm.
You were most
Have
helpful.
a pleasant one.
Oh, you too.
And her and the other lady begin carting their way along.
So, Liv, Kira, I think we should go take a picture of us on this amazing fucking ship and send it over to Dexter and Cabby and be like, bitches, we got this. And they're testing. That's my idea.
Fantastic. Well, as we have heard the list of exciting things here on the Carnival Glory, and the gentlemen in meta knowledge have a little bit of jealousy, although it doesn't have a shooting range, so they're good. They're really good, despite old-fashioned barbecue. We are going to take our first break, and we will see you guys pretty soon. BRB. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Here We Are Year Zero. So, we are going to pick back up as Via makes her way, snacks and drink in hand, to the Internet Cafe. Okay, let's see. The Internet Cafe is on deck. Whoa. That's too much zoom. Back out. 1 second. Gotta search through all the decks. Nope, not on that one, not on that one, not on that one. Not there, not there. Oh, this one. So that is deck 5. So let me bring you over to deck 5 on roll 20. Deck 5. Here we go. Oh, did I mismark it? I think that must be the issue. I mismarked the decks in here. So, give me 1 sec.
Thought you were a professional.
I am a professional, damn it. All right, so it's probably deck 6 actually marked. Yeah, it's deck 6. There it is. Boop. There we go. And you can find the Internet Cafe right here.
All right.
So I am going with Liv to the Internet Cafe.
All right. So.
And I'm taking pictures with my phone at all the really pretty things along the way.
Okay, you take pictures of your phone of the elegant hallways, the beautiful views that you get off of either side of the decks, of New York and Staten Island and Brooklyn off in the distance with the Statue of Liberty. Off to the left of the ship, you get this interesting view of the carriers and destroyers and cruisers moving along with the Carnival ships. And you start... Do you guys take the elevators or do you guys take the stairs?
Elevators, I guess.
Okay, so you take the elevators up to the deck. And as the elevators open, you're brought to a bustling, beautiful community of people making their way around, going through the various different games in the casino. And just as you come out of the elevators, we'll say you'll come out of these central elevators here. You can see the Internet Cafe off to your left, and off to your right you see this beautiful kaleidoscope bar with bartenders behind it serving drinks to a number of patrons, and the sound of slot machines and people playing blackjack just past that bar.
Come here, guys. Come here. Let's group up real quick. Let's take a photo of us together at this bar.
God, Rachel's petty.
So you go over to the kaleidoscope bar and you kind of group up and you get ready for a photo shoot, and you go ahead and you take this wonderful photo, and you even catch one of the bartenders in the back of the photo bombing with his thumb up and a martini in his right hand. And there's a beautiful array of neatly placed various different alcoholic beverages on the shelves behind him. And even off in one corner of the photo, you even spot somebody with a vibrant blue drink that has a little umbrella in it, sipping away at it.
Okay. I am going to send all of these photos to Cabby and Dexter.
All right. Do you also, besides the kaleidoscope or bar picture, do you also send a picture of the casino?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. So both Cabby and Dexter, we cut from the three of you and make our way over to the carrier, and we watch as the camera goes through the metal of the carrier and makes its way down to several different decks until it eventually comes upon the two of them making their way down one of the hallways to one of the doors that reads debriefing room. And as they're on their way, and you can see two Marines currently stationed outside the door, both of your phones bzz, 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 bzz. Almost like you're getting a call at this point. And it just continues it keeps buzzing for like a good 30 seconds.
I'll bite. I'm going to look down at my phone real quick.
You're on like the lock screen, and it just tells you that you have some photos from Rachel.
I'm just going to look over at Dexter and be like, you know what? Why not? Then just open it up and see what's attached.
As you open up, it is beautiful shot after beautiful shot of all sorts of different restaurants and clubs and an internet cafe, beautiful kaleidoscope bar filled to the brim with alcohol, an absolutely immaculate casino filled with a couple of people playing away at blackjack and slot machines. Every picture, it looks like it comes straight out of a magazine, and there is food everywhere.
So very subtly, Dexter leans over to Cabby and says, yeah, we're going to take a picture of your ass later and send it back.
As Dexter says that, Cabby is still scrolling through the photos, and Dexter, he scrolls to one photo, and Rachel has precariously taken a photo of a man with a cowboy hat on sitting at one of the blackjack tables with a T-bone steak on the end of his fork, and he's slowly putting a slice of it into his mouth. And that is the last photo you get.
I'm just gonna pause for a minute, staring at the phone, be like, you know what? Good for them.
Why did I follow you?
Fuck if I know.
Oh yeah, the CDC debriefing. Yay.
So
I'll buy you all the steaks you want when we get out of here.
There's gonna be steak left.
I never said what kind of steak. There will be plenty of zombie steak, I guarantee it.
The two of you make it to the door of the debriefing room, and you watch as the two Marines look you over. Yep, identification.
Okay.
Well, I have a laminate.
Oh.
Hand them over.
Yep, he checks both of them over, and he looks at them and says, you guys are support staff, so you're the next debriefing. So the CDC is going to hold an official debriefing for their own staff. That's after this debriefing. Currently, the main CDC staff is talking with the captain. So your debriefing actually starts in about 25 minutes here.
We were told that we were supposed to be here. We're here specifically with Dr. Pearson.
Oh, okay. In that case, if Dr. Pearson said that you needed to be in this one, come on in. And they open up the hatch, and you can see Dr. Pearson and four other doctors who are kind of sat down at one end of a long oak table. Person that you assume to be a captain. It's a woman in her mid-40s, immaculate uniform. A number of different binders and folders open in front of her, and it looks like there's a PowerPoint presentation that's being projected on the wall next to them, and it's showing like different photos of the innards of some of the infected as the door opens.
So as Dexter walks in first, he's going to cough and cover his face partially with his fist, and then he's going to shuffle in quickly and subtly behind everyone and make himself very small in the room.
Okay. Outside of those people in the room, you also notice that there are a number of officers from the Navy, from the Marines, and also there are two officers that look to be wearing National Guard uniforms. So there are four chairs open. One of them is open up on the military side of the conference room. The other three are behind the doctors. And you can see behind the doctors, so like there are roughly about six other individuals not in doctor's attire who are sitting down and kind of just taking notes.
I will take the nearest seat to our contact.
Okay. So you go ahead and you sit down, and I'm assuming Dexter kind of does the same, keeping up his fist to sort of cover his face and make himself as small as possible.
Dexter was doing that under the assumption that we were not actually supposed to be in the room, but if the guy seems cool with it, he'll sit down in a chair.
No one says anything when you come in, and you kind of get the feeling that they're assuming that if you're in the room, you're supposed to be here.
Okay. All right, we sit down then.
As you sit down, the XO, a man in his late 30s, completely bald, with a well-trimmed beard, kind of looks up from his notes next to the captain and says, "Next time, don't be late."
Sorry.
You guys go ahead and take a seat, and you begin to sit through the debrief. And we cut from you guys because 90% of the debrief is stuff you've already heard. And we make our way back over to the ladies over on the Carnival ship. So you guys have just finished taking the photo at the Kaleidoscope bar.
I'm gonna look through the photos and stuff and just kind of smile to myself. Did I by chance capture anything that would give me pause?
Give me a spot listen. Actually, no, not a spot listen. My bad. 1 second here. Give me a... What am I going to call for this? Give me a detect motives.
Detect motives?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would like to spend 3 competency points.
Okay. In that
mine
case,
is like really low. Like
yeah, that's fine. Absolutely. As you're looking over the photos, you notice that within the Camel Club Casino, there are 3 individuals that are sitting at one of the blackjack tables with no dealer. They're talking amongst themselves, and there is a briefcase that is open in the photo, and you just see the faintest glimpse of a dollar bill sticking out of the briefcase in the photo that you took.
Ooh.
Hmm.
And all the snakes are rancid and moldy.
You're ridiculous, dude. That's weird. I'm gonna show it to Liv and Kira and be like, look at that. Like, it looks like he's got a briefcase of money. Wonder why he would have that much. Do you think he bought his way on the ship?
I mean, it would have been probably a good move on his part.
But not if he's infected.
Well, no.
And why else would you need to buy your way on the ship? I don't know why he has that money. Okay. So I'm going to look at him and try to get a really good, like, description.
Absolutely.
Like,
which one do you want to start specifically with the one that has the briefcase in front of him? Because there are 3 gentlemen in the photo.
Does it look like the guy with the briefcase in front of him is receiving it, or is he about to give it to someone else?
You're not sure. The briefcase is slightly open. It's in between all 3 of them. It looks mainly in front of the one who's in the middle of the group. And they don't, no one looks like they're going to grab it. They just look like they're discussing over it.
Okay.
You kind of see the central individual, the one who you're assuming has the briefcase. His arms are crossed. He's wearing sort of a plain khaki pants, plain khaki cargo pants, I should say, and a button-down white shirt, and You would also notice that in the photo he has golden cuffs on the white shirt. He's a little overweight. Maybe he's about 5'8", but he's probably in the range about 250 pounds, 260, somewhere around there.
Does he look Italian?
No, he does not look Italian. He looks mixed. He looks like he's a mix between Latino and Asian.
Okay.
Next to him is a individual in sort of a regular plain black shirt with like the two buttons up at the top and a collar. He's got a pair of sort of khaki cargo shorts, and he's wearing some flip-flops, and he's got a set of aviators that are kind of resting on top of his head. He's also sort of leaned back, but he's holding a brandy in his left hand, and he's casually just looking over at the individual in the middle and talking. And the individual on their right is an individual in a full-on business suit, black with white shirt and a red tie, glasses in the pocket of the suit. And also he has a gray glove on his left hand. And he's also he's casually leaning on the blackjack table, looking across the individual in the middle and talking to the individual on the left. And he looks to be of African American descent.
He only has his glove on one hand, like one. Okay.
Either is he or O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, right. Okay.
If it doesn't fit, you must have quit.
So I'm gonna put their faces to memory, and just be on the lookout for them. Yeah.
Okay, you keep a lookout for them, and you quickly, since you're staring at a picture, you spot which table they're at, and as you're looking at the table, you actually see a younger individual, maybe no older than 18 or 19, with a light blue hoodie and some dark gray cargo pants. What? Oh, go ahead.
What? Does this look like the guy that Mr. Blue Sky?
Not Mr. Blue Sky. No.
You're kind of describing it, Mr. Blue Sky guy.
I describe a teenager and suddenly you assume it's Mr. Blue Sky.
With a hoodie.
There are a lot of people who wear hoodies.
If it wasn't for the hoodie, you would think it's my character.
I mean, at the very least, in her defense, at the very least, I would do a double take.
Well, you do the double take. No, he's clearly Hispanic descent. His face has a few acne marks, and you can just see from the collar of his hoodie, there is the snout of a gray wolf tattoo on his neck, and he's got sort of slicked back hair. And he's carrying a duffel bag, and he kind of comes over to the table and puts his duffel bag underneath the table, and he joins in the conversation.
It's the Latin Yakuza.
I mean, they're called cartels, but yeah, sure.
It's definitely gang stuff right there. Okay. Well, she's kind of staring at him at this point. Like she's not really hiding it or anything like that.
So the rest of the ladies can just see that Rachel is quite obviously staring at this table where the three individuals in the picture are sitting with a new fourth individual there. and she's openly doing it kind of in the middle of the well, not really the middle, but like out in the open next to the kaleidoscope bar with you guys. All her attention seems to be directed at this table, and it's quite obvious.
Ellen!
Via's not at all interested in what she's doing.
Yeah, so what is Via
I
doing?
came here to use the internet cafe.
All right, so Via pays no mind. Does she pick up anything at the bar while she's headed to the internet cafe? I know she's got her tray in hand.
Got my ginger ale and my sandwich. I'm good.
Fantastic. So you like just you see that she's like staring off, and you kind of just take that as your cue to leave, and you scoot out of frame, and the camera starts following you as you make your way around the corner to the internet cafe. You can see there's about 3 individuals there. Your typical Starbucks at like 3 in the afternoon crowd is kind of there. And each of them sipping their own coffees or Coca-Cola or something like that. They all have their laptops up, and one of them is watching a movie. Another seems to be writing something on Microsoft Word, and another looks to be doing an Excel spreadsheet.
I assume there are computers available
Absolutely.
for use.
There are
Okay.
computers available for use. They have like laptops that are there, and that's the laptops that they're using.
Okay.
So it's an Asus laptop, which don't worry about it. It's just a fancy laptop, and
Nice.
each of them are like bolted to the tables,
Okay.
It's just
and
your
they've
brand.
got it is.
Yeah, it is.
And they've got their own set of headphones at each laptop.
I am fairly clueless. Via is fairly clueless about what's going on.
Mhm.
She came back to her apartment. Her cousin was crazed. She inflicted what she assumed was a life-threatening injury on her cousin and ran away. And found someone who told her to go to Central Park, and that's what she did. And that's what she knows about what's happening, other than what she's overheard from people at the evacuation zone in Central Park.
Right.
So I am looking for all the information I can find to figure out what the hell is going on. Because
Fantastic.
I don't want to seem like an idiot in front of all these people that I'm around. I've been pretending like I know what's going on, but I have no idea, no clue what's going on.
All right, fantastic. So you can see as you kind of sit down at the computer and you get ready to use it that there's a little sticky note over where they have the internet password sort of placard into the desk that says use this code to get internet service for free without having to pay. And of course, it has the provided by the United States military sort of written on the sticky note as well. And you go ahead and use the code, and that gives you the access to where you don't have to pay for the $35 internet per hour. And you start surfing away. And is there anything that's been mentioned on the Discord that you have meta knowledge of that you're going to look up specifically?
No.
Okay, fantastic. So you start poring over that information. Here's what I will say. So you get that information initially. Of everything that the party essentially knows. However, there's been a bit of an update on the maps. Oh my god, I just looked in Discord and immediately I see Michael Jackson opening his palm to his one glove. Alright, so let me see here. Additional information that you get is that northern Georgia essentially is swarming with these things. And Massachusetts, they've breached outside of the Boston quarantine zone, and it looks like they have made it to Worcester. Worcester. Let me see here. Outside of that, hold on, I need to do a little jump here. It looks like they're starting to get a few communications lines back together with Europe. and specifically some of the news sites are reporting that France and Czechoslovakia is it Czechoslovakia? Which one is it now? It's Yugoslavia, then Czechoslovakia, and then hold on.
I don't think either of those are actually countries anymore.
Yeah, I think the Czechoslovakia turned into the Czech Republic. I gotta check.
It did.
Yeah, because the
So
Balkan
bad.
yeah, USSR broke apart, so it's now Czech Republic and Uzbekistan and all that other good stuff.
There you go. So the Czech Republic, they've reestablished some of the communications with them.
So
It's not
you wanna have
looking
Czech
good.
crowns.
Yeah, it's not
Or
looking good for
euros.
their countries. But they are starting to report in that no, we have it contained in certain areas. In particular, it looks like Bordeaux, France, is managing to hold itself together, and Normandy is also managing to hold itself together. While most of Paris is lost, I don't remember the acronym for France's CDC, but their version of the CDC is still holding out in Paris. Particularly at their facility. Let's see. Russia has started to do massive scale invasions on the former Soviet territories, and it looks like some progress is being made there. However, so far, Russia is saying that their casualty reports are insane at this point. Let's see here. The western half of China is now black, where they've lost all communication with the government, and it's assumed that they're overrun. And it looks like Sydney in Australia has regained a foothold, and they are starting to push the infected back. However, in Egypt, where they were having fighting with ISIS cells, Egypt's last report before they went black was that the ISIS members were using some sort of van to begin spraying chemicals down the streets of major cities. And it was not long after that the government went black on communication. Let's see. Brazil is now yellow, and many of the major cities are now beginning to report infected.
West Coast as well.
No, West Coast United States is clear. Everything to the west of the Mississippi River is still in the green. And for sort of the southern United States, it's marked as yellow until you hit the border of Texas. Then it goes back to green.
Okay.
So that is the updated world information that you get. The updated infected information you get is apparently ABC just did a special about an hour ago about how certain infected were showing increased signs of intelligence, and so far 84 have been reported through major cities. And the last live stream that ABC did regarding New York was essentially a 10-minute live shot of the George Washington Bridge before it was blown up, and several infected attempting to rush over it. And sort of that report kind of ends when suddenly you watch as the bridge gets hit by several missiles and falls into the water.
Okay.
All right. While you were getting that information, what is Rachel and Kira doing?
I don't know, Rachel. What are you up to right now? So I know you were doing the thing
Rachel
with the photos.
is like currently she's done with the photos. She's now staring at this table,
Okay.
very apparently.
I'm just like looking around for like the best looking food that I've never tasted in my life. Because I don't know if you guys got this from my character yet, but I'm part of the 1% of the poor, man. So like, let's try this stuff.
Fantastic.
Nom nom nom.
When it comes
One
to
in heaven.
food, you see that people here in the Camel Club Casino, a couple of them have platters of food, and each food looks absolutely fantastic. But from the stream of individuals occasionally popping into the Camel Club Casino, you can see that they're coming from sort of the back part of the ship, making their way, around the Internet Cafe or through Club O2 up the stairs and coming into the Camel Club Casino. So you're assuming the food is that way, and judging by the smells, yeah, it's probably that way.
Alright, I'm just gonna make noises to Rachel, like, return, don't die, thumbs up, start walking.
So Rachel, your concentration on this table as these individuals are talking, and it doesn't look like any bags are being handed over, but at this point the briefcase has been closed. Your concentration on what's going on and trying to figure out what they might be talking about, even from a distance, is kind of broken when suddenly Kira says, "Hey, I'm stay safe. I'll be back." And she starts making her way towards Club O2 down the stairs, in the direction of where you see individuals like coming up the stairs with food.
Yeah. I'm gonna drink my drink and then just shout after her like, "Hey, be careful. I'll be joining you shortly," kind of thing.
As you say, "I'll be joining you shortly." There's a cry of cheers that comes from the other side of the casino, and your head quickly whips around to see what's going on. And you can see that through a thick cloud of smoke coming out of the Skybox Sports Bar, there are a number of individuals that are kind of seated in these large leather recliners, each of them with drinks in a hand, sort of cheering as you can see they're all illuminated in this dark room by the massive, I think they're roughly about 80 to 90 inch TVs.
Huh. Wow. Okay.
And there's like 3 of them that you can just barely catch a glimpse of on the wall. One of them is apparently playing a NFL game on the left screen, and you immediately realize it was actually the game from last Sunday. They're replaying it. Another one is playing some horse racing from you don't know from when or if it's live, and another one is a golf tournament.
Okay. All right. None of them are broadcasting anything about what's happening.
Nope. None
This
of
is
the large
weird.
TVs in there. If you want to look for a TV that's sort of broadcasting what's going on, you kind of swivel. Well, at this point, I assume that you're sitting at the Kaleidoscope bar, kind of watching that table. You go on a swivel and you look behind the bar, and up in the corner of the bar, there's a 23-inch flat screen TV that currently has CNN playing, but it's muted. And what you see, the headline is infected and how it's spreading. And you can see that there's like a panel of individuals, the usual CNN panel of like 8 individuals, all sitting down at a table.
Talking heads. Right?
Talking heads, yeah, exactly. Talking away, and of course they've got like an infographic behind them on the large monitor behind that table.
So she's gonna hurry and try to get the volume and try to hear what they're saying.
Okay. In order to get the volume, you quickly motion to one of the bartenders and you ask them to turn up the volume on the TV, and he looks at you and kind of shrugs his shoulders and says, "Unfortunately, I don't have the volume controls for this TV down here. It's restricted to mute because we don't want to disturb the casino."
Well, I need to hear this. I need.
There's an internet cafe right around the corner.
Oh my god.
CNN's
Right.
live streaming, so you can go to their Twitch channel.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do that then.
Okay. Do you order any drinks before you go?
No, I don't. I just go.
Okay, so you
It's
go
more
and
it's more important.
you come up onto the internet cafe and you can see the three other individuals doing their thing, and Via, you can see the back of Via's head just as she herself is clicking over to the CNN stream to catch up on the panel. And you go ahead and you sit down at the laptop next to her, look quickly over the sticky note and fiercely start typing away the code to get into the internet itself without having to pay. And you go ahead and you pull up Twitch and you go to the CNN stream and you start watching it. And essentially, they are currently debating whether or not it is actually being spread through the mucus that they're putting on people's faces, the bacteria in that, or whether or not it's from the scratches and claws that they're forming on people's faces while they're doing this, and then the mucus is seeping into the bloodstream. They don't know if it's just it hits your orifices, you're infected, or if it has to get into your bloodstream.
Okay.
And that's what they're sort of debating. They've got three different doctors. One individual from the CDC is on voice call with them. Or sorry, not voice, but like he's sitting down at a laptop in his home in Seattle, Washington.
Okay, so it has to enter the bloodstream, is what they're saying.
They're sort of arguing the different doctors there as to whether or not it's the bloodstream, because they're not entirely sure, or simply the contact with an orifice.
It's contact with an orifice and bloodstream. Like that's what.
As the conversation is going on, yeah, one of them does make the argument that while he was watching one of the live streams in Boston, he saw a completely healthy individual that was running along the street and then cut himself as he was moving past a car and tripped on the car. And he got some of this liquid this mucus into his wound, and several minutes later on the live stream, he suddenly sprung up and began to act like the agitated infected, and that's his case that he's making. He's seen it happen. It was on a live stream for Boston, and that conversation sort of goes for a while until eventually they end up in a talking circle of, oh well, it must be both.
Okay. So she'll look over at Via and just be like, so you get infected if it enters your bloodstream or if it enters an orifice, like a mouth, eyes, nose, whatever.
That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
Eventually that conversation ends, and the Wolf Blitzer report comes on, and he starts talking about emergency measures being taken in Washington since the start of the outbreaks, and how they are going to be essentially deploying. They're actually properly deploying the military. It's not just going to be the National Guard who are sort of taking over, and that they're creating this fallback line past the Mississippi. And currently he's talking about how they're beginning to evacuate the Senate and the House of Representatives from Washington, D.C.
That's just happening.
That is just happening. It hasn't been that long, Gabby.
I don't care if it's been 2 days. I don't care if it's been a day.
It actually has only, I don't think it's been 48 hours yet.
No, it has not been 48 hours.
I agree with that. I think we're at 36 hours.
Yeah. That's pretty fast. That
is pretty fast. All right. So we cut back over to both Cabby and Dexter in the briefing. The two of you have been sort of bored, essentially, waiting for something new, essentially, to come up in the briefing that you haven't already heard. And it's not until maybe the second hour of the briefing when finally a corporal stands up. And he moves over to the laptop and he says, "All right, on to our special child, as it were." And he clicks a few things in the PowerPoint presentation, and you see an image of a rather stunning Korean woman in her early 20s, very long, dark black hair, and she's got a business suit on, and she's got some corporation's badge on her suit pocket. This is Myung Hae-ron. She's one of our smart infected that we found in New York. He begins to rattle off some timetables about when they found her, and where they took her after they found her, and some of the characteristics of the group that she had. And when they're mentioning the characteristics of the group they had, it seems that she didn't have any Claude infected with her. She simply had what she said to them was normal infected, along with one of the crawlers, which is the ones that crawl on our floor and can move extremely fast. They talk about after eliminating them, they brought her to the museum, and they began to do questioning, and they also began to do studies on how to kill them. He brings up the fact that it seems that morphine is some sort of toxin that rapidly goes through their system and begins to shut down their nervous functions. And sort of as he's wrapping that up, he says, after some testing by our lovely doctor here, and he points at Peterson, he says, it appears that once we kill any of these smarter individuals, others are alerted. We don't know how. She didn't scream. She didn't have a phone call, anything like that. So, as silly as it sounds, at this point, we're going to have to say possibly a hive mind. Upon her death, we had 3 other of the smart individuals begin to attack Central Park. And he clicks over in the PowerPoint, and you see a spitting image of Mr. Blue Sky pop up. And he says, this is Jason Mathers, a high school student who just turned 19. He's failed a couple grades, and he was looking to be a doctor, from what we can tell from his Facebook posts. He, as well as 2 others that we currently have not identified at this time, are the ones who took up to attacking Central Park. From what we can tell, it seems that he's very into the song Mr. Blue Sky, as is pointed out by his name. But not only that, from the few encounters that we did have with him before getting the information on him, every member of a patrol that he attacked, he dragged them away screaming. We don't know why. We need to be on the lookout for these individuals. And so far, while we are telling the public that there are 82 of them roaming around between Boston, New York, and Atlanta, in reality, we're looking more at around 250.
So Dexter will raise his hand a little bit at that.
Yes, go ahead.
I just wanted to let you know a little intel on the Mathers High School student. We actually witnessed him providing instructions to these creatures, and they were using the New York City sewer system to travel between buildings.
We were about to get to that. Thank you for mentioning
Great.
that. By the way, question though, did you see him verbally giving commands or hand gestures?
Both. We heard him at one point giving verbal commands, and we visually witnessed him giving hand signals to him.
Okay, good to know. He says, because this, and he clicks on the PowerPoint, is what we had. And it picks up with a video of, it's a helmet cam of a National Guard patrol kind of making its way through New York on foot. And it shows Mr. Blue Sky as well as his gang, as it were, making their way out of a department store. And you watch as the National Guard members sort of try and get their attention and have them come over to them, when suddenly Mr. Blue Sky just gives a smile, and suddenly the infected individuals around him just start charging the patrol. They let off quite a few rounds. They hit the clawed one about 8 times before it finally goes down. And you watch as the particular soldier that it's following kind of goes to get cover behind a car, when suddenly from behind him he hears this loud grunt, and when he turns around, the police officer, the black police officer from your apartment building, charges up towards him and grabs him and throws him over the car that he was taking up cover behind, and throws him right at the feet of Mr. Blue Sky, who just stares down at him and grins, when suddenly the video feed cuts. It says that was our last transmission from Officer Parker. Or sorry, he would say Lieutenant Parker.
Oh no, no.
Well, for now, that's all the information we currently have. We'll be, the CDC themselves will be holding a debrief in about 20 minutes here. And when we have more information, we're going to probably hold our next debriefing in about 8 hours. So, meeting adjourned. And they turn off the projector, the lights in the room come on, people start chattering back and forth, and the doc kind of swings around in his chair and looks at the both of you and says, "You guys are not supposed to be in this room right now, but I'm not going to say anything."
Say what, Doc?
All right, well, you two troublemakers, come with me. Come on, let's get out of here. And he stands.
Follow right along.
And he takes you guys out of the room. And he brings you through a dizzying swerve of corridors until eventually you come to one of the larger rooms here on the ship that they've taken a plain piece of paper and scribbled in Sharpie CDC and taped it to the door. And he opens up the hatch and brings you all in. And, he says, "Well, welcome aboard. You managed to somehow get on, so." Speaking of which, you said you had some more information about this Blue Sky character, and he waits until Dexter comes in and then closes the door behind you too. And you can see there's quite a bit of equipment that's sort of set up there. There's a little refrigerator that you can see off in one corner that has a label "infected material." That's sort of taped to it, and there's a keypad lock on that. And he sort of just begins moving through the room and makes his way to the refrigerator, opens it up, and grabs a Coke, and then turns to you guys and say, "Want one?"
Absolutely.
Wouldn't turn it down.
He quickly passes the two of you a Coke before grabbing one for himself and closing the refrigerator and sitting down. So, was it just bullshit that you had more on Blue Sky, or?
No, We had ourselves a hell of a run-in with him. We know for a fact the bastard can talk.
Did he speak English?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you refer to us, Dex? Was it burn the little piggies?
I think he was actually referring to the two that he had in the sewer with him because he was lighting them on fire, trying to use the fat off their bodies. I assume to ignite the broiler room that we're in, right?
Yeah, sounds about right.
I mean, luckily he didn't get to you then. That's actually pretty ingenious. What? How does a high schooler think of that?
That was exactly what I thought.
Here, the question that keeps popping into my mind. They said he had aspirations to be a doc, right?
Yeah.
How many people that want to do that kind of job turned into absolute fucking psychopaths?
He kind of looks down at himself before looking back up. I don't recall being a psychopath last time I checked.
Whoops. You just called your contact a psychopath.
No, he said not many people that go that route are psychopaths.
He said the people that want to become doctors usually become psychopaths?
No, I said that not many people who want to become doctors are psychopaths.
Oh, okay. I misheard as well as unicorn. Whoops. All right, great. So he says, okay, what's your point?
Well, I mean, we're pretty sure this has some kind of effect on your personality, right?
Yeah, I would assume so. I mean, the regular infected have increased aggression, their skin hardens, they become a bit faster, less fatigue.
A bit faster.
I'm not talking about the crawlers. I'm talking about regular infected.
Yeah, I don't think I could outrun one of them either.
You need to
Just
get
kind
in
of,
shape.
just kind of looking down at my not great physique.
Yeah. We have a couple fitness rooms here in the carrier.
It's just for the kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? With a I'm fucking with you smile, I'll just be like, and what are you trying to say, Doc?
Well, your BMI would suggest that you do need a little bit of a workup, but that's for a different time.
Rule 1, cardio.
I wasn't going to say anything, but he's like,
I only get one physical a year, Doc, and I had it like 6 months ago. So, back to the matter at hand here. What exactly do you want to know about these things? I mean, I'll give you whatever information we got, but
Did you see where he took anyone? Because from what I've heard, he's taking people alive.
yeah, we had a gentleman on the 5th floor of my apartment complex that was taken. He actually came into our building, accessed the phone on the at the concierge desk, and started dialing random numbers until this guy on the 5th floor answered the call. We were watching over the security cams, and he sent one of the cloud beasts up, and they went up and extracted them without killing him and dragged him out alive.
That's terrifying.
And Dexter flips through his phone looking for the contact where he put it in there, and tells them the guy's name.
Okay. All right. And where was your apartment? Sorry. And he walks over to one of the walls where you can see that there's a map of New York State and New York City up there. And you can see that there's already a number of red and blue pins marked into the New York City portion of the map.
Sure. Dexter will point out give him the room number and everything on the 8th floor where he was staying.
Okay. So he writes it down on a little sticky note, and then he takes out a red Sharpie and puts a little dot on the sticky note before putting a red pin into the map.
Yep, and then Dexter will also show them the locations where we saw them peek out of manhole covers, and also remind him that it was the broiler room underneath our building where he was attempting to set the fire and use the fat off of the creatures to, I guess, increase the heat of the fire below the building.
All right. You watch as the hatch to this room kind of opens, and 4 other individuals step in. You recognize them from the meeting. The first one that steps in, she has a little name tag on that reads Samantha. Samantha C. As they step in, they kind of disperse throughout the room, and she walks over and says, "Hey, I don't recognize you two." And Doc Peterson kind of looks at him, just nods his head, and says, "They're with me." And she goes, "All right. So, what are we talking about? What do we got?"
Dexter will continue on and let him know that the young kid at one point was firing weapons at us, so he knew how to use firearms.
Yeah, we figured that out at Central.
Yep, and he will also go into the fact that he actually shot at least a burst and a half into the clawed one before it went back down below the
manhole.
sewer grate. Yeah, the manhole.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we couldn't get a good look at how much damage it actually did, but...
So, I got 2 questions that are popping into mind. Number 1 is, what's the biggest one of these things we've seen?
That would be El Mundo, we're calling him. And he takes you over to a laptop underneath this map that they have set up. And he opens it up and he starts going through some of through the Windows Explorer, and eventually he finds a file that he opens up, and he pulls up a picture, and you can see that there's a slightly blurry helmet cam photo of a Hispanic-looking individual, 6'8", very muscular, several gunshots in him, and he is squeezing the head of a National Guard member in the photo.
Ooh.
So
like, yep, that's him.
I'm kind of curious here. Did we ever figure out what the thing making that very loud roaring sound was?
Oh yeah, you heard the screeches, and he kind of goes over to the audio file portions of his folders, and he begins playing one, and you hear.
Yep.
That the noise you're talking about? Yeah, that's coming from Mr. Blue Sky and his compadres.
Say what?
Yep. They make those noises.
I'd have thought it was something a little bigger than that.
Well, if it is something other than them, then we have video of them doing it. I don't know.
So let me ask you a question. Are you all aware at this point whether or not the level of exposure to whatever this disease is contributes to the effect that it has on your person? For example...
We aren't sure.
Okay, so we don't know, like, for example, if the more severe cases of mutation, like the claws and the ridiculous speed, and the exoskeleton and all this is based on direct blood contact, whereas the Mr. Blue Sky type of mutation is airborne only, for example.
Yeah, from what we have reports of, all the other types came in contact with the mucus at this point, from what we know. But Mr. Blue Sky and the Korean girl all say they just passed out roughly around the same time. Massive migraine headache, and then suddenly they could hear voices.
Hey, Dex?
Yeah.
Can you still access the cameras from your building?
Yeah, I sure can. I got it right here on my laptop, matter of fact. So Dex will pull out his backpack and pull out his laptop and bring up the camera feeds.
Okay. You bring up the camera feeds, and most of the cameras are giving you static, but the one camera that is active is in the concierge area, and you can see there are about 12 individuals with hand carts moving them in and out of the front of the building, and you see a familiar face from the Sherman-Williams kind of move by the camera.
I'm just gonna kind of duck my head off to one side and be like, yeah.
So-
I was gonna
Go
say, can we see the basement camera by any chance?
We'll try. I'll pull it up.
There's the door is busted open in the basement because it's the laundry room camera essentially.
Right.
The wall that separates the laundry room and the boiler room is crumbled in, and you can see into the boiler room, and there's just the briefest edge of a massive hole in the boiler room that you can see.
And what about the body that was on the
It's
dryers?
not there.
It's not there.
Nope.
Does it look like the
Bloody
lines-
footprints?
Like, does it look like it broke out, or does it look like someone removed it?
Make me spot listen, both of you.
I will spend 3 to get 2.
Okay. Okay. Don't worry, Dex. I'm not going to punish you. Cabby, with your 2, after spending your 3 competency points, you can tell it broke out.
Well, that answers a question there for you, Doc.
Mm-hmm.
So it did actually, and Dexter will look at Cabby when he says this out loud. He says, so our suspicions were correct, and he actually did turn at some point after we restrained him, and he broke himself out of the building.
How long ago did you guys experiment with that patient?
What?
It
24 hours?
was actually around.
Well, what time is it now?
It was about 3 hours after the outbreak.
Yes.
At this point, it's probably like 2:30 p.m.
It was about, I believe it was around 10:30 p.m. that we pulled him from the lobby.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably 9:40 approximately when we saw him. When we saw him in the lobby, and the police officer spewed, all of the nastiness into his orifices while he was on the ground.
Funny enough, same cop in that video.
Yeah, it was the same cop in
really?
the video.
So he's
Yep.
rolling with Blue Sky now. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then we restrained him, and last time we checked on him was the morning after, when we were in the broiler room right before we left.
Hmm.
So he was probably there restrained for a period of 7 hours, maybe 8 hours.
I got a quick question. because I recall Dex rolled extremely well on his electronics thing.
Yes.
Would Dex be able to pull up any recording history from the CCTV footage?
Oh yeah, it was all on
Yeah,
servers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was all on servers, so we should be able to pull up any footage.
But
I was
before
gonna
he
say-
does that, you guys can see, because you still have the laundry room camera pulled up, you begin to see like dust kicking up out of the corner of the camera, and then you slowly watch an individual coming into frame with a M14, and there's he's having muzzle flashes, so he's shooting down into the hole. And as he is, you just watch the cop jump out of the hole, grab him, and then drag him down.
Okay,
Well,
so they
I
just
think
look at the other guys that are with them.
I think I know where you're where that kid's taking people, Doc.
Into the sewers. Speaking of which, did you guys know that that's like their main route of movement, apparently, from what we're able to tell?
Yep.
Yeah. Parking garages and sewers. It's so far what we've been able to tell. They like to hang out in.
Dark, nasty places.
Wonder if he's got a wife we can kidnap.
You watch as 4 individuals, infected clearly, that you don't recognize, jump out of the hole and start running through the complex and out of sight of the camera.
Dex, flip back to the other one.
You
Okay, go
flip
back to
over.
the main room.
You
The
flip back over to
concierge.
the main camera in the concierge area, and you can see Sherwin Williams, because that's what we're calling him now. He's like standing on top of the concierge desk, firing down on individuals. The other individuals in the room with him, 6 individuals in total, are also firing in that direction. And then you just watch as they begin to get swarmed. And Sherwin Williams kills one after emptying his entire mag and then finally shooting it in the head, and then makes a dash for the front door and gets shot in the process from crossfire. And you can see him like limping in the outside window in the direction of his apartment building.
This guy. Sorry, go ahead.
Before finally, the last thing the camera sees is a body getting flung up towards the ceiling and hitting the camera.
So the guy that was on the concierge desk, I'm talking to everybody in the room that's watching these videos now. This guy right here, we call him Sherman Williams, his actual name, and I'll pull up where he gave me his name and number.
Mm-hmm. So you pull
Give
it up.
him, yep, give him that information, and then I'll say this guy was part of a approximately 100 member group that was in, and he'll walk up to the wall where the map is. This building right here. The reason we know that is because we were investigating what buildings in the area were going to be the most secure place to stay if we had to stay, and this is where they were staying. We know that he pulled mortar supplies out of that Sherwin-Williams, and they were securing that facility. So that building, I mean, I couldn't speculate as to whether or not it's been taken at this point, but I would assume that it's not, since he is, in this video still alive, still
Looting your
fighting.
building. Yeah. Do you guys switch to the external front camera?
Yep.
Okay, you switch to that camera. You can see him, a massive trail of blood leaking out from the left side of his stomach, and he's clutching it and sort of limping out the door, heading towards his apartment. And he just falls over in the snow, and you watch he crumples up initially, and then slowly, Cabby, you immediately recognize that he's dead as he starts to straighten out.
That only happens with trauma patients. Come on.
No, it does not. I have watched a billion gunfights. You get shot, you start straightening out.
It's only if you get shot in the head.
Not only in the head.
What are you guys arguing about?
Nothing. This one's straight.
Don't worry about it.
He's talking Corticate versus decerebrate posturing.
Mm-hmm. I've seen people who weren't hitting the head straighten out as well. That's why I'm bringing it up.
I still call bullshit, but anyway.
One thing I've
Eventually
learned.
somebody comes outside, an infected, and starts looking over him, and then grabs his rifle and goes through his pockets and gets any ammo, and then starts making its way back inside.
Interesting that they're in our building again. What the hell are they doing here? It's like this is suddenly an important place to be. We didn't really have anything or leave anything there that was of any value, except for the security room. And the only thing in the security room were the servers with the video footage and whatnot.
Well,
If
scavenging
you
is
recall, I did kind of tell him we were there. We had a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
True. That's why they were carting things out.
Yeah. And what you saw them carting out was like normal, like under the sink, like products, bleach and cleaning detergents and things like that. And also you would have seen them carting out some clothes as well as any backpacks or anything that can really carry anything. And like the oddest thing that you see on one of the carts is somebody is grabbing a shower rail.
That's my shower rail.
Hey, Dex, can you bring up some old footage?
Yeah. What do you want to see?
Bring one screen up of the security room and bring one up of the laundry room.
Okay, do it.
When it comes to the security room, there's the camera that covers the first floor hallway that can see the security room, but there's not actually a camera inside the security room. So is that the one you're talking about?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll bring up that camera, and I'm gonna roll it back to when the cop laid down over the top of the security guard and spewed over his face.
He did not do that. If you remember, the cop just tore him apart and then left him. It was you guys who put the black stuff on him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
I want you to sync up the time codes on them. Start the one from the time we left on the basement.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and
yeah,
then
no problem.
just fast forward through both of them.
Okay, do it.
So you start fast forwarding through both of them, and
Set it to stop on motion if I can.
yeah, eventually you guys come downstairs in one camera, and it stops as it sees you guys coming downstairs to, start occupying the first floor, and then the other camera stops when the wall collapses.
Okay, I think that what we're looking for is like we start the play on both cameras as we had left the building.
Yeah.
On both as you had left the building. Gotcha.
Yes. And then we're basically watching to see if
I want to see what Mr. Blue Skies did to the
crew-
building after we left.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, if you stop on motion, the laundry room camera will stop when the wall suddenly collapses.
All right, we'll just continue on past that.
Okay, you continue on past that, and you can see 8 infected individuals like breaking through the wall, and you finally get a view of like the edge of that hole that they have in the boiler room, and there's a lot of smoke that has filled the room, so it's kind of hard to see what the infected really look like. But they move in. One of them checks out the body on top of the laundry machine, and then they leave that room and they start heading for the stairs. It's the security room camera stops on motion when you see a younger individual, early 20s, male, blonde, short cropped hair, and a broken set of glasses on his face, with a black t-shirt on, comes into view from the stairs.
Okay. Pause it on that guy, print screen. You guys got a printer or a place you want me to send some of these photos?
Yeah, there's a fax machine right there and a printer. And he gives you the number to the fax machine.
Okay. I'll send it digitally so that they get the best picture possible.
Mhm.
And then we'll continue on with the... Do we see any... Does the one with the claws come out that actually shot up?
No. As you play through the footage, you don't see any of them with claws.
Okay.
And eventually, you see a very familiar looking individual, Mr. Blue Sky himself, come out of the hole. And he makes his way into the laundry room. And he looks over the body and sniffs it. Before just like shaking his head and then moving on. The rest of the individuals break into the first floor security office, and they start looking around, and then quickly they go back to the stairwell and start rushing up the stairs. And Blue Sky, eventually by himself, comes out into the lobby, and you just watch as he casually walks over to the concierge desk and picks up the phone again and looks at it, and then looks up at the cameras and shakes his head, and he then walks out of frame up the stairs.
It looked like he was very happy that we got out of there.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did he smell the
Security officer's body.
The zombie body or the human body?
The one that we covered.
Oh, okay.
And it just, the time keeps going on and on. They don't appear back in the basement or the first floor for a while, until maybe about 20 minutes later. And when they reappear, they quickly reappear in the basement camera in the laundry room, and the regular infected individuals start jumping back into the hole and heading back into the sewers. While Mr. Blue Sky walks over to the dead security officer and kind of just stares at him for a while, and then pulls out his phone, and you can see he has a background for a photo. It's kind of blurry in the camera, of some female individual that you don't recognize. Long black hair, Caucasian, late teens. Who's smiling, and you can see he just looks at the time on his lock screen, and then he starts like shaking his head, and you can visibly see that he's counting off, and about 2 minutes later, the body on the laundry machine starts to move.
So he was able, based on what we could see, he was able to, or actually, I'll just say out loud, my character will say out loud, did he just time the turning of that man based off a smell?
It kinda looks like it.
Which would suggest that not only does he have an exceptionally keen sense of smell at this point, but he has somehow developed intimate knowledge of how the virus works and the time it takes to convert.
Hey, Doc, what kind of tech resources you got on this boat?
Not much, to be honest with you.
You got someone who can sit and watch a video for a few
sure.
hours?
I can get my secretary to do that.
Dex, give him your login for that.
He's kind of sitting there with the notepad opened up on his computer, waiting.
No problem. I give him the number and I say I got kind of lucky. I guess the admin password it was the cop or the security officer's badge number.
It was very lucky of you.
Lucky break.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And let me go to the login screen, and eventually he logs himself in. Okay. Hey Samantha, and she kind of perks up and says, "Yeah. I can watch that. You hand that over. And she grabs the laptop and yeah.
Just an FYI, some of the footage is kind of graphic if you haven't been exposed to that stuff yet.
She kind of looks at you and says, "Is there hardcore sex on this or something?"
No, I'm talking about the.
I'm just gonna throw my head back, laugh, and be like, "I like her."
I mean, look, buddy, there's not much that I haven't seen at this point, so. Takes the laptop and walks away.
Dex looks back over at Cabby and says, "You think she'd have turned it down if I'd have said yes?"
All right. Let's see here. So, is there anything else you guys want to get sort of solidified with the doc while you're here?
Yeah. Is there some way that like we can make ourselves a little more readily identifiable as like part of his crew?
He kind of looks the two of you over and says, well, I can give you name tags.
I'm just going to hold up the little laminate and be like, is it going to do more than this thing?
Yeah, this one will say CDC.
Beautiful.
Let's do it.
All right, come with me. And he takes you over to the printer, and he prints you out a name tag, the both of you out a name tag, and he slides it in a little holder and says, "All right, you can go ahead and clip this onto your shirt or something, and you're good to go."
2 laminates.
Backstage VIP passes.
Mm.
Yeah, I doubt it's going to get you into any high-level military discussions, but yeah, sure. Yep.
Other than that, I don't think we've got a whole lot else. Oh, I got a question for you, Doc.
Yeah, what's up?
The other smart one that you guys had there at Central Park, the museum.
Mm-hmm.
Was that one, I know they said that she didn't have any special ones with her, aside from one of those crawlers. Have you guys seen any variants, like multiple variants with the smart ones?
Like claws and crawling?
Yeah. Or does it seem
so far
to be
no, but
limited?
I wouldn't put it past eventually this virus progressing in that direction.
Well, I'm kind of wondering. These smart ones kind of seem like they have some kind of control, if not ability to impose their will on whatever these other ones are.
Oh, there are also some signs of infighting between them, too.
Between the smart ones?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is just me spitballing here, but we ever think that, I mean, all we ever see Mr. Blue Skies with is those clawed ones, right?
No.
Not according to that video you just showed me.
Well, no, like, he has the normal ones and then the clawed ones, but...
He has the cop, too.
Isn't the cop basically just a normal one?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Wasn't he a muscular dude?
The fat ones, the clawed ones, the normal ones, and then whatever the cop is.
The cop was overweight but strong as shit in his
I
normal
guess I
life.
didn't pick up that he was a variant.
Yeah, I guess you didn't. He is a variant.
Heated, humanoid.
That was kind of
so
your side.
Far,
Like, I got the idea that, hey, he's pretty fucking strong, but they all seem kind of pretty fucking strong.
Multi-store, yeah, whatever. I'm not in the scene.
Mhm.
I guess I missed the multi-story thing.
Well, I
Did
can
you
say
ever-
it's definitely going to be interesting over these next few days. But in the meantime, I don't know how long you guys have been up, but you should get some rest. And I'm sure there's plenty of briefings and other things to come. And hey, from what I hear, you might get a chance to see your friends. They're going to be doing, time to go back and forth for us.
Oh,
We got to do testing on the other ships, so we got to collect all the samples, things like that, and make sure everybody's clear. And in fact, I'm pretty sure that the first batch of testing is going to be taking place in about 5 hours. And it's as he says that the screen goes dark, and it says to be continued. As that's
And
where
all
we're going to
you're
end our session here.
all you're gonna
Hmm.
hear in the black screen is me slapping Dex on the shoulder and be like, "Look, you're gonna get your steak after all."
In credits. All right. Thank you all so much for being here. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you, and we hope to see you next time when Here We Are Year Zero. I've been your DMGM storyteller, whichever you would like to call me, Forgotten Dreams, and I've been joined by this lovely cast of people. Adios!
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I want my freaking panda backpack now.